I already revealed how the song a month strategy doesn't work for nearly 85% of artists in the game. You were being told that the more music you dump on Spotify, the more the algorithm will love you. But the reality is you're just feeding a machine that doesn't really care about you, while starving the human beings who actually move the needle for you and your music. So if you want a release that actually sticks, you have to stop uploading music and start servicing it. My goal is to help you understand that multi-stage release servicing is the key to unlock mass reach and high-level branding. Most artists focus on the drop, but the professionals focus on the ecosystem of it all. So once you stop treating your music like a social media post and start treating it like an actual service product, the recognition that you've been chasing becomes inevitable. And I'm going to show you some quick steps that will make it simple for you to achieve that result. So first thing we got to address is how to release on the platform. This is platform releasing, because the problem with getting your music on all possible platforms is that most artists only use digital distribution. In addition, metadata is an afterthought with that. This mindset or lack of know-how is why many artists do not get the reach that they so desire. So a successful platform release requires that you distribute your music to all the platforms necessary for that reach, because not every distributor can service every curator that needs the music that we'll talk about in stage 2 in a minute. So you have to use multiple distributors to make sure each curator gets the music they need properly with metadata and information in the way they should receive it to generate a successful release. Follow me now. The main platforms that we're targeting are DSPs, which is Spotify and Apple Music, record stores, mom and pop and online distributors if you've gotten to that stage yet, synchronization agents and libraries, and direct-to-consumer stores that you will place your music on to sell directly to your fan base via Bandcamp, even Shopify, or just your own website, which Shopify would be the best one. But anyway, DSPs will get your music through your digital distributor. Physical record stores who want to buy your album will get it through one-stop distribution services or directly from you. Synchronization agents and libraries will get your music through disco.ac and using direct email, and your direct-to-consumer stores will get the music through on-platform distribution. Not having your music ready for distribution and service to the respective platforms properly, depending on your level, is the difference between the reach that you want to achieve and the success that you want to see based on the platforms that you choose to release your music to. Not negating the metadata that is necessary to make this release to the platform successful, once this is done correctly, not only will you appear professional, but when we move into stage 2 and the curators receive your music the way they need to, and eventually in stage 3, when the general public gets it, it creates a wonderful user experience at every step and a way for music lovers and listeners alike to consume the music and enjoy it as it should be enjoyed. All of this stuff works together. So obviously this takes organization, but this organization is worth its weight in gold as you continue to promote further and move on to other projects where you don't have time to go back and correct this information. At the end of the day, this is ultimately about user experience and discoverability. Okay? That's what you want your user to have. Now, stage 2, curation release. Check it out. The main problem with artists releasing their music to curators is that they underestimate the power that the curator has on the general public to give them the mass amount of reach that they so desire. Many artists simply rely on streaming services only and the algorithm. However, recommendation is a very powerful thing, and without physical people to do curation and recommendation for you outside of algorithms, you limit how successfully you can reach the general public that you want to reach in stage 3. I talked about that in this video. So the whole point in releasing your music to curators is to reach the public at certain access points where they discover music. And we're going to do that through certain groups of people that most artists will avoid naturally for the fear of rejection. That's really why you don't do this work. So here's what we're going to do. Listen up. The people or businesses that we're targeting to release our music to will be the DJs. And it boils down to internet DJs, club DJs, mix show DJs, college DJs, independent DJs, and in addition to that, college radio, community radio, blogs, social media curators, playlist curators, editorial and independent, sync agents, and sync libraries. This is how records get out there. And the way we're going to release this music for the DJs will be through online record pools, DJ record pools, or clubs, right? Email and regular email depending on who they are. And for college radio, we're going to use email and mail. For community radio, we're going to use email and mail. For blogs, we're going to use email and DMs for the journalists that work at those blog sites, of course. For social media curators, we're going to use email and DMs. For playlist curators, we're going to use email and playlist submission portals. For synchronization agents and synchronization libraries, we're going to use email and disco.ac playlists. And you can actually use a disco.ac playlist for the DJs because it'll make it simple for them to get the music. Now, ignoring this step in the release process forces you to use the algorithm as your curator, which is the one thing that many people hate, including the general public and you as the artist, because it does not give you the success that you so desire simply because you depend on the computer. And the public has to depend on it too. So when you use real humans to help in addition with the algorithm curation process, then your reach goes further because not only are you creating overall algorithm curation, you're creating more human connection to your music through human recommendation. And that is essentially what you need because it allows your music to be discovered in the exact places where music is naturally discovered, and it has its best chances of a full consumption experience in those places that specialize with that type of recommendation and curation, right? Humans want to talk to humans. And when that connection is made, boom. Now, if you think that this is a whole lot of work, sure it is. We haven't even started promoting it. We're just releasing. But which would you rather do? Game the algorithm and flood it with volumes of music and ignore the human relationship, or slow down your release, gain the human relationship and get a better reception for your music? What'll it be? You know what I'm saying? This is why I said in this particular video, why the song of my strategy it's really a scam. It's simply because you end up losing the human connection and discoverability factor to the algorithm, and it forces a lower quality of music by default in the quality versus quantity matrix. So at the end of the day, if you notice, we're still talking about user experience, creating the best experience possible for the listener. That's what it's all about. And we need mass reception. We need mass reception. So far, we've covered platform releasing and curation releasing. But this next part is where a lot of you all will kind of just fall by the wayside, which is the general public and how we get it to them. So stay with me. And side note, if you need a strong business foundation to run your record label with funding, grab my 60-day record label system complete with my funding partners to fund some of your release process. Now, here's stage 3. This is the general public. This is going to be a lot easier than stage 1 and stage 2. But the problem artists or record labels incur with releasing music to the general public is the consumption experience. Okay? It's a combination of where, from whom, and how they discover the music. In many cases, the public's consumption is an afterthought. And though it's stage 3 of the release process, which is the end user, how they experience the music should always come first in the mind. So the solution is to know who your audience is, how they like to receive the music, and from whom and where they like to receive it. Now, this will tailor your distribution process that we talked about in stage 1, so rewind if you need to go see it again. The who pertains to the demographics. Yes, this does take data and analytics to determine the who, but if you're just starting, you can just look at your small audience or do a quick AI search on audience demographics for artists related to you at like the high stage and the medium stage, you know what I mean, and get that data. Now, how the general public will receive your music boils down to stage 2. The DSPs, DJ, college and community radio, blogs, social media curators, playlist curators, TV and film, record stores, and direct to consumer stores. In addition to those sources, yours can be added from your social media pages, your emails, and your DMs, okay? Right? You can have those sources as well. All of this consumption happens at different times, and therefore a timeline should be built into the release process. It's a little bit more complex than just dropping one song at a time on the DSPs and then escaping to the next song and the next and the next and the next. It takes a little bit more time to curate a total music experience for the listener and the customer. So if you care about your customer, this is the work it takes. Now, if you don't care about how your customer, listener, or fan receives your music, it determines the branding effect of you, the artist, and what you represent. So it's like, hey, we have a lackadaisical brand. However, if you take into consideration how the customer receives the music and you further optimize the process of how they get that music, your listener will not only appreciate you more, but you will become the branded artist in their minds for the time period that you are actually affecting them, basically when you're promoting. You see what I'm saying? Because how they receive the music affects the public perception. And if you are perceived to be larger than just the artist who releases on DSPs like Spotify and Apple Music, people will take you a lot more seriously, especially if the music is good or not, let alone great. You know what I mean? So yes, this is a lot of work, but at the end of the day, look at all of the things that you receive from this type of work. This is the process of servicing your records. This is what we did pre-2008, even up until now. And most artists simply rely on DSPs and don't do any of this work, but expect the same type of outcome and impact that artists got back then without this work. That is impossible to achieve. You know what I'm saying? It's impossible to achieve. So pull up your sleeves, man. You know what I'm saying? Get your hands dirty if you want to get this type of recognition that comes from this. You know what I mean? Now, the challenge is going to be real simple today, man, because I think you already got the work that you need to do. But I want you to write down your current release lead time. If it's less than 6 weeks, you aren't releasing. You're rushing. I guarantee you don't have any of these contacts or plan to reach any of these contacts. Go back and build some contacts. And ask yourself this, is my music not working because the songs are bad or because the infrastructure to hear them doesn't exist? You'll know the songs are bad based on low watch time on social media and the popularity score on Spotify, if you have your, music stacks or your Spotify for Artists account. But the goal is to truly understand how a fan base should receive your music and the types of people who should be used to distribute the music to them. The real question isn't should you do this, it's how much longer can you afford not to? You know what I'm saying? You sitting in that, put it on TuneCore, get it out. Nobody listens. Oh well, put it on TuneCore, get it out. I'll try an ad. The music video sucked. Oh well, put it on TuneCore, put it out. See what happens. Get it on the playlist. Nobody keeps listening on the playlist. Do it again. You know what I mean? So you keep running that cycle, but I'm giving you the game. So if you need help with devising a release strategy, book a call with me or join our group strategy calls every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time inside the Music Money Makers community. You can click below to join today. If you think you don't have the connections to reach curators, all you have to do is set up your disco.ac account and start the professional servicing process we outlined in stage 1. Professionals respect the process more than the stage you're at. The fact that you're going about it the right way, they love it because they need the music too. Now, if you think that you don't have enough music to wait 6 weeks, all you have to do is shift your focus from quantity to quality. One properly serviced record outperforms 10 drop records or singles every single time, guaranteed. If you think this is too corporate or business heavy, all you have to do is realize that your favorite overnight success stories use this exact same framework behind the scenes. You know what I mean? So now the question is, will you continue to waste money on promotion and ads for a release that has no foundation, effectively burning cash to reach a public that can't find your music where they actually consume it in the best way possible? Will you remain on the Song a Month treadmill and eventually drain your creativity, leaving you feeling like a content creator for an app rather than an artist with a legacy, while facing the choice to be the volume junkie chasing an algorithm that will eventually change, or the architect building a brand that the industry is forced to respect? What's it gonna be? You're either gonna do the work or you're not. Which one? At the end of the day, if you were struggling with the upload and pray method, the algorithm trap, or consumption friction, realizing your fans and curators couldn't actually access your music the way they wanted to and get the full experience, you now have the means to become the executive artist you've always wanted to be. You aren't just making songs anymore, you are managing assets and building a machine. That's what we're doing. You know what I mean? Music Money Makers, if you make music, you should always make money. Log on to musicmoneymakeover.com, grab the 60-day record label system complete with my funding partners, book a call, join the Music Money Makers community, grab the free stuff below, watch this next video right here to save your career, and I'll see you next time. Peace.